Hello everybody and welcome back to Operation Logistics, where, first off, I'm noticing that this music is maybe slightly loud. Let me just turn that down as it fades out of existence. Okay, now the second thing I would like to do is I'd like to make it so that these parcel graphics just have a very slow rotation to them. So let's go ahead and fire up a calculator. Let me pull that over onto the correct screen. There we go. And I'd like this rotation to take about 30 seconds to make a full circle, so we're just going to do 360 for 360 degrees divided by 30. 12 degrees per second. Okay, we'll just make a quick variable here. Public float rotation speed equals 12 degrees per second. Okay, then we'll go ahead and do a void update. Now, we can only have 200 of these, so it should be okay-ish, theoretically. Maybe. I don't think we'll have much for overhead on that, realistically, maybe, theoretically, again. But we're just going to go ahead and do something along the lines of this. So, rotation speed equals 12f. So we're going to want this in a per second, so we're going to need to multiply it by time.delta time. So we're just going to do something like this. Transform.rotation equals transform.rotation, and this is in a quaternion, so we can't do plus, we can't add quaternions. We multiply quaternions to add them. So we do transform.rotation times, and this should actually be quaternion.Euler. And we're going to do a new vector 3, and this is simply going to be 0f, and then this is going to be rotation speed times time.delta time, and 0f. So we just want it to rotate around the y-axis. Why is this giving an error? Oh. It doesn't want a vector 3, it wants 3 floats? I mean, I'm fine with that. It's a little weird. Was not expecting it. There we go. I guess that works. So, with that done, we should be able to just fire this up and make sure that the packages are spawning and rotating correctly. Now, they're still going to be rotating even when the game is paused, but that's okay. That's, in fact, wanted behavior, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and wait the excruciatingly long loading process. We really need to streamline this, but I don't really have an idea other than offloading biome generation to on-demand and figuring out a way out of that while loop. I mean, the way out of that would be to just have a list that we grab randomly from and then remove from the list, right? Could work. I don't know how much that would speed it up. Maybe a fair amount. Maybe not. Kinda depends on the run, actually. Just because it's so RNG dependent. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and skip the tutorial. And we are going to purchase, I guess, here. It doesn't really matter. Let's buy this duplex. And I'm just gonna go ahead and build a postal office. There we go. And we're just going to run this until we have some packages spawning. Don't see any yet. Hello. That was quite a hitch. Okay, so it is rotating here. It's just rotating in the wrong axis. And it's doing that for all of them. Okay. So why is it doing it in the wrong axis? Well, let's take a quick look here. Where are our packages? Here's a crate. So it is rotating in what axis? Okay, I see why it's rotating in the wrong axis. It's because it's rotating in this transform, which starts rotated. And that's rotating in the x-axis, interestingly. feels like it's not supposed to be doing that. It's supposed to be in the y-axis. Interesting. It is indeed supposed to be in the y-axis. So my question is, why is it rotating in the x-axis? This is rotating here, specifically this direction, when we want it to be rotating in this direction. Well, maybe we need to be rotating its parent. Transform.parent.rotation. We'll do that. Okay. Let's go through the loading process again and see if that makes a difference. It may or it may not. Yeah, see, like, this time it's loading so much faster, and now it's slowing down because of the RNG. I think we should go ahead and do that, actually. After we've fixed this small issue, I think we'll go ahead and work on streamlining this startup time, because it is very, very slow. And see, when you get good RNG, that was half the duration, which is interesting. So let's go ahead and purchase this guy. Confirm. And technically we don't need to do anything other than just let it go. Hey, look at that! It's rotating correctly. That's what I like to see right there. Package has not been sorted. Shipping speed unknown, destination unknown, distance unknown, volume 0.34 cubic meters, and weight of 0.42 kilograms. Then we've got this crate here. The crate is actually clipping into the brewery. We might want to move them up in ever so slightly, well, an ever so small amount. So to do that, let's go into the parcel manager and we'll just increase the height of the spawn point ever so slightly. We'll add in like 0.25%. There we go. Now it's not going to change anything until the next run, obviously, but this is rotating correctly, and it's going to be like, there is no script. That's fine. As soon as it compiles, anyway, it will be. Argument out of range exception. Yeah, I expect there to be a bunch of, like a million errors. Okay. So, let's go ahead and work on streamlining that startup process a little bit. To do that, we're going to want to go into the hex manager. So we're going to want to go in here. And we are going to want to take a quick look at the while loop up here, which is substantially up here in the generate map. So we iterate through the map, blah, 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 blah. And then what? Where do we do our while loop? This is all the get nearest hexes stuff. We're not worried about that right now. Here's create height. It's the Voronoi stuff that we're worried about. So it's going to be in create height and create biomes that we want to do this. So we're going to want to come down over here. While seeds is greater than 0, that's fine. But what we want to do is we want to make a list of world hexes. So list world hex potential seeds equals, and then we're just going to assign this to be what? Let's see, map is a list of world hexes. So what we need this to be is essentially everything in that list, at least to start with. So do we have a reference to that we can use, or do we have to create one? I don't think we do. We have map XY, which isn't amazingly helpful here, because we want to get it all into a single list. We could iterate through and do it that way. That's certainly not ideal. Can we do .add? Actually, we're going to need to just do this right now. Equals new list world hex. We'll initialize it like that. And then can we do potential seeds .add and then add range perhaps? Yes. We can do add range. So what we'll do is for int I equals 0, I is less than map.count. Nope. .count I++. And then we're going to go ahead and say potential seeds dot add range map I. And that should get us our full list of everything. Theoretically. Okay, so rather than doing it this way, we should then go ahead and... Do we actually need the XY? Do we use that for anything? I'm not sure we actually do. So what we're going to do is we will no longer need this if statement. So we'll get rid of that. And then we'll no longer need the X and Y. So this is going to change a fair amount of things. And we're just going to grab a potential, we're just going to grab a seed from the potential seed pool. So then we're going to do world hex equals random, or rather we'll just do potential seeds random.range between 0 and potential seeds.count. Now, this is an integer, so this will exclude count, which is good because we're 0 indexed. So this should be correct. I'm going to go ahead and shift tab this to bring it over so that it's not tabbed in. And then we'll get our height level. That's fine. Vector3 new position equals hex.transform.position. And then we want to set our hex's overlay color and its classification and its material here. Otherwise, we set its classification to be default. And then Voronoi seeds.add hex, like so, and then potential seeds.remove hex. That'll remove the randomness, theoretically. Do we have another while loop down here? Yes, we do. Okay. So we're going to want to go ahead and do exactly the same thing. We're going to grab this potential seeds code up here, and then in the create urban, we are going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to do the exact same thing as we did up here. So we are going to go ahead and say that, where are we? Right here. We're going to go ahead and say that our hex equals potential seeds, rather than the X and Y. There we go. If the classification equals water, then we continue. Okay. So we want to then just not put it into the list at all, if it's water. So if map, because we're adding range, yikes. Okay. That's a little awkward. If hex.classification equals hexClassification.water, then we continue, which means that that'll be a potential random choke point. We'll just go ahead and go through the rest of this though. So hex here, blah, 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 cities.add hex. And then potential seeds.remove hex. Okay. And we actually have another Voronoi pass here? We do. Okay. So we're going to need to do exactly the same thing, like literally exactly, except hex.setOverlayColor with rural, and this would be rural. Yeah, because we do two passes here. That's fine. And it's fine that we're using the same potential seeds here. In fact, that's ideal. So this would need to be rural color. Hex classification dot rural. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here. And next episode, we're going to continue optimizing our startup. Subscribe for more, and I will see you all next time.